And welcome, take 3, back to the channel. I am Zach, your host here on the Yo Bro Nation YouTube channel. And it's, time to talk more movies to be thankful for. And this one, I'm thankful for this one for a multitude of reasons. Both good and bad. Let's start with the good, okay? And I'm talking Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Reason number 1, May 4th was the very first holiday. Yes, I called it a holiday, and if you're a Star Wars fan, it is exactly that. It's a holiday for us, okay? It's the first one that me and Susie spent together, so it's already got a little bit of a near and dear, feeling for me. Number 2, it's Star Wars. I'm thankful for Star Wars in general, whether it's the prequels, the sequels, or the original trilogy, or the spin-off stories. I love Star Wars, okay? Bad reason to be thankful for it? It showed me the difference between what a good Star Wars movie and a bad Star Wars movie was. Should I move on? I think I should. So let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about the cast, okay? I want to jump in with the cast and the crew. This was a movie written and directed by George Lucas. While George Lucas is a decent director, and the story, maybe the script itself isn't great, but the story, the structure itself, the bones, are actually quite decent. It's actually got a good structure. You get the Galactic Senate, plotting, and you get, this what's going to be the start of the rebellion. Yes, it's a lot of talking, it's a lot of politics in this movie, but the story itself, it's there, and it's tangible, and it's good. The story, the script, the execution, not so great, but it's doable. It's doable. I don't hate the prequels. I'll get that out of the way first. I don't hate the prequels at all, if I'm being honest. And it's not as good as the original trilogy, but if we're being honest, the sequel trilogy isn't that great either. When we're really thinking about it, I really wasn't a big fan of The Rise of Skywalker, and I definitely was not huge on The Last Jedi. I left that movie wanting more. Force Awakens I loved. Yeah, I'll be honest, I loved The Force Awakens. But just the bones of this movie were good. And no, I will not be doing spoilers for any of these reviews. I will keep spoilers to myself. And but it had a good story. You seeing the Galactic Senate and how it worked in tandem with the Jedis, and how you were seeing a rise of the Sith that hadn't been seen in thousands of years. It was an interesting story. So that was good. The direction, was not that great by George Lucas. By the way, George Lucas, he does the entire prequel series. Well, let's talk about the cast. The cast is great. Natalie Portman as Padme, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. No one wanted that. No one was thinking, oh yeah, that's who I want to be my Obi-Wan. But he ended up being probably the best part of the entire prequels, which is pretty awesome. And you get Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, who was my favorite part of this whole movie. You know what I mean? And then Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson as Mace Windu and his purple fucking lightsaber. That was awesome. I think purple lightsabers are cool. Fight me. Terrence Stamp is in this movie. Ray Park is Darth Maul, who didn't fucking like Darth Maul, man? Darth Maul was awesome. You get Warwick Davis making an appearance in this movie, and the great Ian McDiarmid as Chancellor Palpatine in this movie. I think it was great. And you get Jake Lloyd playing a young Anakin Skywalker. He's in this movie. Pernilla August, she plays she plays his mother. And it is just, oh, I didn't know he played Darth Maul too. Go figure. But the cast in this movie was really, really awesome. It's just the execution, again, wasn't that great. You know, I remember me in 1999 going to see this movie and just being over the moon, excited to see this movie. It was me and my best friend Joe and his younger brother Seth and James, and it was me and it was Patrick, who used to take us to movies all the time when I was a kid. And I remember standing in line and waiting for hours to see this movie and being so excited. And of course, me at the age of 14, of course, 13, 14 years old I was 14. Of course I was excited with this movie. Of course I loved this movie. I was seeing all these people dressed up to see this movie. And it was the first time I got to see a new Star Wars movie in theaters. Because, yeah, I went and I saw the remastered, the special editions in theaters. But it wasn't the same as being like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this movie. And if I were to describe my feelings, if you've ever seen the movie Fanboys, that would be me. I would be one of them to go steal the plans to see this movie, this movie. I would be that guy. But it was such a great movie. And I forgot to mention, Keira Knightley was in this movie. She minor character, but even she was in this movie. Like, anyone who was anyone was trying to be in these movies. But oh my gosh, I just remember being so excited to see this movie. But, you know, you get Obi-Wan and you get Qui-Gon Jinn, you know, coming onto Tatooine, meeting, you know, a young Anakin Skywalker, and just knowing how strong he was in the Force after meeting him and, you know, seeing his, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, seeing his midichlorian count. Ugh! That aside, wanting to train him as a Jedi, all the while, you've got the Jedi Council who are against him doing it because of his age. But Qui-Gon, you see, is not quite the company-toting Jedi that you would think he was. He's very much right on the edge of possibly going to the dark side. But he manages to maintain that. You get that. So, you know, they're doing what they're doing, right? They're out on this adventure. They're trying to convince him. They're trying to protect, Princess Amidala, Padme, if you will. So that's how she meets Anakin. Kind of weird when you really think about it come the second one. Really kind of weird. Anyway, so, you know, they got that going on. You get this awesome pod race, though. I remember watching the pod race scene. I'd watch that again and again. That is obviously that's the best scene of the whole movie, is seeing that pod race. Waddle gambling off Anakin, so his mother, because you find out Anakin's in slavery. I probably skipped over that part. Anakin's in slavery. So they skip over that, right? I skipped over that. He gets taken out of slavery by a bet between Qui-Gon and Waddle. But he ends up going, and he meets the Jedi Council, and they're like, no, we don't think. The boy's too old. Could, you know, he's too old, too many emotions. They can't reprogram him, I guess you could say. And Yoda, you see Yoda in this. Yoda, you know, has the good line, you know, fear I see in this boy. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. So Yoda was very hip to the fact that something bad was going to happen with this boy eventually. But they end up taking the boy with them anyways. We meet Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar is not a character I ever want to have to discuss, so he was there. Can I leave it there? Do I have to mention Jar Jar Binks after this? Jar Jar Binks was a character. There. I said it. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. But while all this stuff is going on, in the background, you have this Dark Lord, you know, Lord Palpatine, not quite yet the Emperor, which we as fans already know what's going on, right? But he's already got his apprentice. The rule of two is already in play. And the Jedi hadn't seen, a Sith in thousands of years, according to them. Meanwhile, you have your other Jedi kind of are, your other Sith who've already been playing around, but I guess you haven't seen them. Okay, cool. So Palpatine he's doing his thing. He's got Darth Maul, his apprentice. They're in the background, and they're chasing down these Jedi. And that is the interesting part. You get the fight scene at the end between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Maul. That is really awesome. And you get your little space fight. You find out Anakin's actually a really awesome pilot, basically because of his pod racing. Like, I'm not going to go deep into this movie. I think if you're going to see this, go see it. It's not horrible. It's not a horrible movie. Go see it. It's actually quite okay. Attack of the Clones. Step down. But a lot goes on in this movie, so it is a bit of a task to keep up. You got all these little plots and subplots, and you're meeting a lot of new characters, so they're introducing you to a lot of stuff. But it's still, it's a good movie, honestly. The acting is decent. Again, I think Ewan McGregor stands out overall. Liam Neeson, really good in this movie. I love the character Qui-Gon. He was one of my favorite characters from the prequels. Mace Windu is a badass. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson being a Jedi. What more can you want, man? That's pretty freaking cool. Again, I refuse to acknowledge Jar Jar Binks. I just refuse. I do feel bad for the actor, though. Ahmed Best. I do feel bad for him. That guy got way more hate than he deserved. I feel bad for him. Go show the man some love. All right, the guy was a decent guy. But unfortunately, we lose Darth Maul in this movie. He does come back. If you watch Rebels, you'll see that he does come back. Spoiler alert. Dude gets cut in half. That's pretty cool, actually. I just love Star Wars. I just love talking Star Wars in general. And yeah, it's been a while since I'd seen this movie, but I am reminded that it just wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad at all. I maybe, if you sit and you just let those who really do hate the prequels talk, it will skew your view on the movies. Go and watch it, man. Especially if you've never seen them. Go and watch them. They're not bad. There is good story in these movies. There is. And I don't dislike them. If I'm being honest, I don't dislike them. I think they're pretty damn good. They're not my precious trilogy, but they're not horrible. So I would give this one probably a 6.5 out of 10. It's better than mediocre, but it's not bad. I think it's good. It's recommended. Go watch it. And since I am saying go watch it, I've decided that throughout the month of December, going into January, into the new year, I'm going to review every week each and every Star Wars movie that is canon that is out. No, I will not be doing the Christmas special. I'd rather guzzle down a bottle of bleach. Just no. Christmas special, no. So, I'll be doing the prequels, and I will be doing them in chronological order by where they would be in the Star Wars timeline. So I'll be starting with the prequels, working to a Star Wars story. That would be doing Solo. Then I'll be doing Rogue One, moving into the original trilogy, followed up by the sequels. So, yay me for Star Wars. I love Star Wars. That's what I'll be doing. I am Zach, your host. Remember, everyone, while I may not give the best reviews, life just gives us what it gives us. So stay healthy, stay safe, and above else, remember, join the nation. See you later.